Hola a todos. No me escuchan. Bueno, a ver.
Voy a llamar a Shanti porque ella no se conectó, ¿verdad?
¿Me escuchan? Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Aquí estamos nuevamente en...
Okay, thank you.
Te escuchamos.
A ver. No. Me cierra. Tenemos... ¿Ahí me escuchan?
Perfecto.
Bien, cualquier cosa, digamos, Luz, si por alguna cuestión se cierra el micrófono o algo, porque hay algún problema en el teléfono que se va cerrando el micrófono, bueno, continúa vos. Yo presento, si te parece, Jagriti, digamos, se desconectó recién, así que, bueno, ahora veremos ahí Elizabeth, que no sé, ahí hay alguien que se agrega a la transmisión, ¿sí?
Sí.
Así que, bueno. Iniciamos entonces. Esta es una nueva reunión del Encuentro Internacional de Escritores La Luna con Gatillo, en este caso, digamos, con la amiga, la hermana Luz María López, que va a oficiar de intérprete y traductora, y la coordinadora de esta lectura, que es justamente Jagriti Roy desde la India. Así que los dejo, digamos, con Luz, digamos, y a la espera de que se vuelva a conectar Jagriti, y les agradecemos desde la Federación Internacional de Escritoras y Escritores y desde el Encuentro Internacional La Luna con Gatillo, que estén, digamos, nuevamente participando de estas lecturas. Luz, te dejo a vos, si te parece, así das unas palabras y empezamos con la ronda, con los que estén, ¿sí?
Yes. So I will start to say in English because this meeting is mostly in English. It's actually bilingual, and we will be translating either to Spanish or to English the poetry and some information or data about the invited guests. This event is organized by Jagriti Roy from India. She's not connected right now. She lost connection, but she will join anytime soon. This meeting is organized by La Luna con Gatillo, the moon with a trigger. Is very bad translation to English, but is a translation in fact. This is FIEL, the International Federation for Writers for Liberty, and their festival, which is run in Argentina. And actually, this is the virtual part of the festival, in which many poets from around the world are joining for celebration of poetry and the word and our intercultural friendships. Right now, we would like to invite our poet from Mexico, Alvaro Mata. He's right here, and he will read his poetry in Spanish, and I don't have a translation to English, which Chagriti does, but we can start with him. Welcome. Can you connect our poet from Mexico now?
Hola. Bueno, un saludo. Good morning, good night, desde acá, desde México. Pues leeré lo que había mandado a Jagriti, que es una especie de recreación sobre las obras de Ionesco Rinocerontes y Samuel Beckett Esperando a Godot. Yo supongo que, bueno, Yagrite, esperemos que se conecte brevemente, entonces ella haga la translation, la traducción. Reclinado junto a la opacidad de la ventana, veía a Estragón, que al lado del murmullo miraba el eco, el horizonte. El crepúsculo era el alba y el alba era la noche era la tarde, la mañana. La penumbra transfiguraba el día, el destino, el tiempo, confundidos en lo mismo, en la indiferencia. Vladimir, no muy lejos, veía los despojos en la laguna, cercana al parloteo de los árboles, a los sepulcros. Miraba sin mirar su rostro en el espejo, al otro sin verlo. El sol palidecía. No había señales de lluvia, tampoco nubes ni caía ceniza. La población cantaba, con los perros jugaban con las víboras. Se alejaban los muertos. Tiempo después, mientras Estragón dormitaba agotado de esperar a Godot, que como muchas presencias, el algo que movía las cosas, los dioses, el aquello, había muerto, Vladimir veía de nuevo la llegada de los rinocerontes. Tomaban los púlpitos, llenaban los graderíos, inundaban de sinsentido las aceras, las voces, las calles, en medio de los gritos, de la histeria, del miedo, del horror, de las palabras que se mezclaban también a lo mismo, a la oscuridad de los verdugos, a la penumbra de los cómplices, a la vaciedad de los asesinos. Estragón, sobresaltado por el temblor de las pisadas de los paquidermos, intentaba tirarse al suelo, no salir de él como pretendía lograrlo Gregor, buscando una esperanza en el río la miraba así, alejándose. Caía un poco de ceniza en los campos, la niebla caía también un poco en el humo, en el rumor de muerte, de las campanas, como así ocurría cuando Ionesco escribía La cantante calva y hablaba de los salones de clase, cuando enmudecieron las voces. Habrá un día, quizá, que los vocablos pierdan para siempre a los vocablos, presagiaba en Montjavi. Habrá un día que muera la poesía, será la edad del robot y la desdicha de los judíos se habrá generalizado. En esos días, en estos, en aquellos, cuando las campanas rememoraban el ocaso y los rinocerontes poseían el brillo y la niebla, tomaban lo oscuro, invadían voces y escenarios, tomaban la poesía, el teatro, lo sagrado, los ecos. Sin esperar, Estragón intentaba alejar el desasosiego. El sol buscaba la penumbra, sumergirse en el polvo, adentrarse en la cueva junto a la luna. Vladimir movía la boca, hablaba sin hablar, balbuceaba, jugueteaban las víboras por el patio, los perros comían el brillo de las hojas en la sombra, en los campos. Los pájaros, picotando todavía las nubes, acompañaban a la flor en el árbol, al llanto en el río, volvía la ceniza. El alba bebía la tarde, bebía y bebía la noche. Las estrellas bajo la lluvia negra parpadeaban junto a las luces. Estábamos más solos. Un lenguaje sin alma solo produce hechos sin alma. Gracias.
That is really powerful poem. I was listening to the different images you were running. It have to do with nature, but nature with connection to human feelings and our history as humans. And I don't have the translation to English. Hello, Shanti. Jagriti.
Yeah.
We need to everybody to put the connection in mute because we have a lot of obstruction with the sound. Can you mute your connection? Can you put it in mute? Thank you. Jagriti, can you read some information about our friend Alvaro, which I don't have? I understand that you have, and can you read his poem in English or any other poem he has in English?
Yeah. Hello all. Alvaro Matagili is a poet, essayist, and a director of plays from Costa Rica. He is the columnist of various magazines like Libros y Letras and Revista Literaria de Colombia e América Latina. He is also director of Festival International de Poesía en el Lugar de los Escuados from Mexico, and he coordinates the festival like Festival Castilla y León Poesía en Tránsito. He have written many books like Debajo del Viento, Sobre los Fragmentos, Un País sin Nombre, Intemperies, Más allá de la bruma, de próxima aparición is El individuo en la sombra. And he has also worked in many plays like La Señorita Julia, El Jardín de las Delicias, Escenas de una tarde. Now I'm going to read the English version of his poem Reclining, which he has read to us just now. Reclining. Next to the opacity of the window, I saw estragon. That next to the murmur, I watched the sunset, the horizon. Twilight was dawn, and dawn was night. The night, the afternoon, the morning, the gloom transfigured the day. Fate time, confused in the same in indifference. Vladimir, not too far. I saw the remains in the lagoon, close to the chattering of the trees, to the graves. I looked without looking at his faceless face in the mirror, to the other without seeing. The sun was pale. There was no sign of rain. Neither clouds nor ash fell. The population sang with the dogs. I played with the snakes. The dead were moving away. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Then we can continue with any poet that you will choose to present. Right now, we have here with us Chanti from Greece, which I know. I'm very happy to see you here. And the poet Elizabeth Castillo from Philippines. So you are the coordinator. You choose what to follow.
We can listen poems from poet Zanti first.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today with all of you and be in this festival. So I would like to read my poem, Mediterranean Waves, which is dedicated not only just to Greece, but to all the countries which live around the Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Waves. 3 blue poets fill our life. One singing the blue from the sky, the other the waves of the sea, and the third whispers the wisdom of the wind. No matter to which shores the poem takes us, with which clouds we would like to travel, with the wave of a blue scarf or the white sail of a boat, the wing of a plane, there is always the wisdom of the wind to carry us, to reach the shores of dreams with flowers, pebbles, and seashells as treasures, or in the nights where we talked at blue tables with friends or on the phone miles away, listening to the tide at full moon. The fun we shared traveling in a rental car without lights on an island looking to avoid a monastery and ending up spending the day there in the arms of a saint, bringing with us healing oils and sacred water. The paintings we discovered in the small museum, in our faces and on the street corners looking down to the sea, where we were feeding a foreign hungry artist at the little coffee shop by the seaside. We didn't exchange letters and alphabets like our ancestors, didn't care if the numbers were Arabic or Greek, didn't even try to find common ground because three blue poets, a painter and a musician, filled our life with the waves of the Mediterranean. Thank you. Do you want me to read another poem?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So another one which I have is Eternal Reminder, and it is dedicated to spring. Eternal reminder. With a perfection, the sky joins the sea. The signs of Murica's blue ribbon in the air. The light of poets like Odysseus Elitis. The peace of Pablo Neruda. Among blossoming peach and cherry trees, wandering speechless. On the mountain tops, with a wild wish of youth in the mind, with a wild herb in my hand, looking down to the hills of nature's passion in breathless excitement. On the pebble beaches, with open arms embracing the width of the horizon, open borders between countries and continents, overwhelmed by the blossoming breeze, with a poem on my lips, memories in the eyes, marks on my soul. Spring is preserved in the hearts through all seasons, throughout the years and decades, throughout all our life. Spring remains eternal reminder of unstoppable hope. Thank you. Thank you.
Unmute your connection. Jagriti, can you unmute?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking that you could read some information about the poet Shanti, and she had read 2 poems in English. Later, we can read one of her poems in Spanish, and we keep going.
Okay. Sure.
I think Jagriti is breaking up. I can't hear her or see any movement.
Hello.
We listen.
Hello.
Yes, we listen to you.
Yeah. So Zanti Hodruhill has studied German and English literature, journalism, linguistics, and public relation management in Germany. She has worked as public relation manager at the Greek consulate in Stuttgart, as teacher for German, Greek, and English, and is translating poetry from and to all 3 languages. She is an award-winning Greek poetess who gained international recognition. She is writing poetry since high school, and her poems have been published in many international prestigious.
Ok, we lost connection with Jagriti. Perdimos la conexión con Jagriti. Estaba leyendo unos datos sobre la poeta griega Shanti, a quien conozco de eventos en los que hemos participado juntas y publicaciones también. She's back. Y ella tiene una larga trayectoria, tiene mucho trabajo realizado en diferentes lenguajes y en diferentes publicaciones, ya sea sus colecciones personales o colecciones internacionales tipo antología. Y ella está participando con nosotros hoy, invitada para el programa por la coordinadora Jagriti Roy de India. A veces perdemos conexión con ella, recordar que a veces la internet nos hace estas trampas, pero ella está aquí con nosotros y vamos a ver si tiene sonido al momento. We listen to you, Jagriti.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's do this.
Do I read her bio again?
No, I don't think it's necessary. We could listen most of all the information that you were referring to us, and I did a little bit in Spanish for those who miss in English language. So we can go with Miss Elizabeth Castillo, Mrs. Elizabeth Castillo, the poet from Philippines.
Yes, buenos dias. I'm Elizabeth Isguera Castillo from the Philippines, and I'm honored to be one of the participants in La Luna con Gatillo. I'm going to recite my first poem entitled Indigo Child.
Okay.
I am not of this world. I came from an abysmal choice. But from this beautiful choice, Desiderata was born, a child of the universe, precious and golden, a lovely old soul beyond time and space, often misunderstood by mediocre minds, but applauded by great free thinkers. I long for a world enveloped in serenity, inhabited by empaths with great sensitivity. A loner I may be, but this is who I am. But I've got this deep connection with things around me. An indigo girl at birth. My temporary sanctuary is the earth. Lone wolves gathered at my feet, for I am their goddess in human form. That is my first poem, my first composition. Can I read another one? Okay.
Hello, Maria, please unmute your mic first. Yeah.
Thank you. I was just telling poet Elizabeth that I did a translation of her poem. This sound has gone crazy. I did a translation of her poem to Spanish. Maybe we can read it afterwards because there's a lot of noise, and she can read another poem in English, and you read her bio, and we read the Spanish translation. Okay?
I'll read one poem.
Yes.
First,
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
First, I need to read her bio, right? Or she will read her poetry.
Let her read her poem, then you read the bio, and then
Sure.
read the poem in Spanish. The one that
Okay.
first.
Okay. This is my second composition, Courage to be True. Do you have to hide your true self? Make pretensions be under disguise? To be noticed by others, do you have to lie? Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why. Has the world made a slave out of you, that once you feel unappreciated, you succumb to being blue? In reality, those who don a mask are the ones who don't know authentic happiness. For out of the mundane things, their joy dwells, living each day in their own make-believe world. Lost souls, restless hearts, crying for freedom, to break free from the chains that bind, and to have the courage to be true to mankind. Clowns are sent to entertain the crowd, but beneath the thick layers of hues, can we say that their smiles are true? The funny comedian in the movie set C. In real life emerges a depressed soul once alone. For behind the laughter, behind the cheer, we can't see the real selves, can't see the hidden fear. True happy people don't have to mask their true selves, for they don't seek validation or appreciation from others. Simply by being their true self, being honest to what they feel, open doors of love and acceptance for those who truly care. Thank you.
Okay, let me read your bio. Elizabeth
Dispositivos y
Escuero Castillo.
unidades encendido. Unidad de DVB-RW. Fila 1, columna 28. Y.
Hello.
We are listening, Jagiriti. Go ahead.
Okay. Elizabeth Escuero Castillo is a multi-award international author and poet and international visual artist from Philippines. She published 2 books, Seasons of Emotion from UK and Inner Reflections of the Muse from USA. And currently she is working on her 3rd book, Verse de Ambedo. She is also due to publish a poetry collaboration book, Verses of Miraki, with Shahid Abbas from Pakistan. Elizabeth is a co-author to more than 200 international anthologies, and her works were already translated into 18 different languages. Elizabeth is the cultural ambassador to Philippines of Inner Child Press International, the ambassador of peace and goodwill to the Philippines of Nations Unidas de las Letras and Similas de Juventud Siglo XII, based in Argentina.
Bueno, solo voy a comentar unos pocos datos sobre la bio que acaban de leer en inglés. Vemos que la poeta Elizabeth Castillo es una artista visual, ha publicado 2 libros de poesía, está en proceso de publicar su 3er libro de poesía, que tiene contribuciones poéticas en un número como de 200 antologías internacionales y multilingües, que además es embajadora de buena fe en las Filipinas y que se mantiene muy activa en los círculos literarios y en los círculos de colaboraciones y de artes y presentaciones con diferentes países. Yo le traduje un poema al español con una colaboración a este evento que tenemos hoy con ella y los otros poetas, y voy a aprovechar el momento que mi sonido está bonito, mi sonido de la conexión, y voy a leer el poema Indigo Child, Niña Índigo, de Elizabeth Esguera Castillo de Filipinas, la cual yo traduje para presentarlo hoy en este evento que tenemos con la Luna con Gatillo y la Federación Internacional de Escritores por la Libertad. Niña Índigo. No soy de este cosmos, vengo del abismal caos. De este hermoso caos nació Desiderata, niña del universo, apreciada y refulgente, antigua alma encantadora, allende el tiempo y el espacio. A menudo incomprendida por mentes mediocres, siempre aplaudida por grandes librepensadores, anhelo un mundo envuelto en serenidad, habitado por seres empáticos. Quizás sea yo un ente solitario, sin embargo, es lo que soy. Aún así, guardo esta profunda conexión con lo que me rodea. Una niña índigo de nacimiento, mi santuario temporal es la tierra, Lobos que circulan a solas se reúnen a mis pies. Soy su diosa en forma humana. Bueno, esta es la traducción al poema Indigo Child, que fue el primer poema que ella nos leyó en lenguaje inglés. Ella es de Filipinas, me sorprende que tiene un súper buen acento con el idioma español, pero hemos compartido un proceso histórico donde en un momento dado en Filipinas se hablaba también español y que fue cambiando, pero todavía ellos conservan muchas voces, muchas palabras, muchos vocablos que son iguales que a los de nosotros porque tienen la misma raíz. I was just telling them that I was surprised at your good accent in Spanish. And I was telling them that we inherit, like we share an historical moment in which Spanish was also part of your heritage. And it might have changed a little bit, but you still keep a lot of those voices. Go ahead, Jagriti.
Okay, so next we can hear a poetry from poet Alvaro again.
Álvaro, te invitan a leer otro poema. Tienes que conectar el sonido. Tienes el micrófono apagado. Abajo hay una barra en la pantalla.
Sí, sí, sí. Es
Ahí
que yo
está.
no me había dado cuenta que me lo habían desconectado.
Okay.
Bueno, voy a leer algo de otro libro. No estaba pensando en leer tanto, pero bueno, vamos a leer. Lo que pasa es que sí no está traducido al inglés. Pero bueno. Búsqueda sin término. Al nacer, la inmensidad se abre en nosotros. Palpa, se percibe. Pregunta el porqué de las cosas que son ellas mismas. La inmutabilidad transformándose en continuo movimiento titubea inmersa en los nombres. Su noche, la niebla, el no tiempo, lo indiferente. Al morir, al regresar a la quietud del crepúsculo, al apagarse la conciencia, el universo deja de verse a sí mismo, de recordar, de sentirse. Vuelve al silencio, al mutismo que enmudece las cosas y apaga los nombres. Retorno, regreso, fundamento del que emerge, se cimenta la poesía cuando quiere ser poesía. El origen, el antes del antes. En ese lugar que combina necesidad, sensación, urgencia, por decir, del que nacen los nombres, lo que significa. Al perderse los vínculos, al diluirse la memoria, olvidamos que venimos de lo ausente, que en nosotros, cuando se manifiesta, cuando grita, habla el silencio. Aunque insistamos en estructurar las cosas y disimulemos en la presunción de los grandes títulos, aunque nos escondamos en la trivialidad que desvanece los límites, que olvida que morimos, que solo transitamos de una noche a otra, de una sombra a otra. Gracias. Thank you.
Beautiful. I took a little notes. Let me just finish my thought so I can share with you the essence of the poem. It's not a translation. I just took a few notes on some of the verses that hit a chord in me. And this poem relates to probably the beginning and the end of what we are in essence. And he said that upon birth, immensity opens upon us. When we are born to immensity. And upon death, then consciousness turns off and we go back to silence. This is what we think. We think we go back to silence, but maybe it's not so. Maybe we are just returning to the cosmos poetry, to the beginning, to everything that is meant to be. And he also said that we come from the essence, from whatever we don't understand or we don't conceal. But then we transit from shadows to shadows, and at the end, we are everything. At the end, we are immensity, and we are silence, and we are all that we are unknown or unaware of, but it's still there. And somehow everything relates and come upon us, and this is, in essence, what is life about. And I hope this is a good interpretation of whatever you meant to say in your point, which is so much, much more than whatever I said right now. Thank you, Alvaro.
No, thank you.
Now we will hear another poem from poetess Elizabeth.
Okay, I'm going to read another poem, The Bohemian. A wandering soul, lost in a world of his own, a vagabond perhaps, a kindred spirit, moving free from a world of chores. He dares to be different from a sea of fools trying to fit in. An era of madness, illusions of a perfect refuge to a mystic like him. Ridiculed from within, the phantom outcast they label the pitiful man, for refusing to follow the ordinary crowd, who continually mocks him, to live like a hermit, far from the prying eyes of men in vain. He created a sanctuary only he can understand. Living in unconventional ways set him apart from the shallow-brained maddening flock. His masterpieces can change this ill world at a glance, if only his grace is to be given a chance. No one knows his heart is full of love for mankind, and yet almost all those he met are deaf and blind, selfish ones only thinking of what they can get, instead of giving a piece of them and truly experience life. Thank you.
Ah, este poema de la poeta Elizabeth Castillo, que acaba de leer en inglés, es un poema que tiene que ver con ser bohemios, con una interpretación de lo que es ser un alma vagamunda, un bohemio. Ella dice en su poema que, por ejemplo, un alma bohemia, pues no sigue los caminos ordinarios, tradicionales que seguimos las masas que habitamos en este mundo. Ellos tienen otra manera de vivir, tienen una manera de vivir que no es tradicional. Y en ese sentido, estas almas vagamundos pasan por experiencias de vida que son desconocidas para nosotros, los que nos quedamos en el medio de toda la existencia, que no vamos para atrás, no vamos para adelante, nos acomodamos a las masas y seguimos viviendo esta vida de todos. Pues entonces nosotros, los que no somos almas bohemias o vagamundas, nos perdemos mucho de la vida. Sin embargo, pues por suerte, hay seres poetas. Yo pienso que tendría que ser un poeta, tendría que ser poeta, la alma vagamunda, la alma bohemia, que si pasa por la vida sabiendo que está pasando por la vida y que está exprimiéndole a la vida lo mejor que puede su ser, caminar por los caminos. I was just telling that this poem that is titled Bohemian, a Bohemian Soul, that she just said that this type of souls, they don't follow ordinary path like most of us do, and they live their life in another way, in ways that is non-traditional and is not the way of living of the mass of people that we exist in this world. And I was just saying that it had to be a poet, a Bohemian soul got to be a poet, because poet live a different way of life. Thank you very much. That was very nice.
Now this time for another poem from poetess Zanti.
Thank you. Thank you, and muchas gracias for all the Spanish-speaking community which is listening in today. So I will read a poem which is dedicated to all the poets, and the title is Poetic Habitat. My good friend Luz Maria has actually also translated that into Spanish. So, Poetic Habitat. The poets live in their poems. They are born in them. They grow up there. They are fed by the words in the spaces they breathe. On the interpunctuation they rest. And even when they leave, they live in every white of the piece of paper, at the edge of every pencil, and in the infinite possibilities of the languages of all the world. Thank you. A great honor. Thank you.
Amazing one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yo sé que mi sonido está terrible en este momento. Este poema titulado Hábitat poético de la poeta griega Shanti Hodruhil es un poema muy lindo, me gustó mucho. Yo se lo he traducido, lo traduje al español, poderlo compartir en el evento de hoy y que lo puedan apreciar igualmente en inglés y en español, porque sí tenemos muchos amigos que se conectan que no manejan bien el idioma inglés y queremos, ¿verdad?, que pasen por la experiencia de poder entenderlo igual. Este poema, Hábitat Poético, lee de esta manera. Los poetas existen en sus poemas, nacen en ellos, crecen en ellos, son criados por las palabras en los espacios que respiran, yacen en la puntuación e inclusive cuando se van, concurren en el blanco de cada trozo de papel, en el borde de cada lápiz y en las infinitas posibilidades de expresión en cada lengua del mundo. And this is very, very, sharp for this event because we are actually talking about expression in many languages, and this is what we are having here. We have someone from Philippines, we have someone from Greece, we have someone from India, we have someone from Argentina, and we have someone from Costa Rica, Mexico, and we are here together without barriers, because we are talking about poetry has no barriers and it has no languages. We can interpret, feel the same way any language or the other. And in this point, this is why the poets exist. They exist in their poem. Los poetas existen en sus poemas. They are born in their poems. They grow in their poems. They are raised in words. And even if it is just a piece of paper without any traces, still the poem is there. And in the infinite possibilities of expression in each language of the world. And this is what we are doing just now. Thank you. I think Jagriti is here. So maybe thank you very much, Shanti. I was happy to translate your poem.
I was very happy to read it in Spanish and to hear it in Spanish. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you. And a very great honor that you translated that for me.
My pleasure.
Okay, so poetess Elizabeth has lost the internet connection somehow.
We can do is maybe we can talk about Carlos Peña.
Yeah.
He had to excuse himself because he got sick, but we are going to share his poetry in Spanish and English and his information biodata. So we can get to know a little bit about him. Jagriti will do.
Yeah. Poet Carlos Pena was born in the city of Concepcion in Chile in October 15, 1960. From his childhood, he began to manifest a great love for letters, and that's why his first writing started. They made themselves known in various literature magazines, and later on they was adopted in their city in many poetry and short stories. Thank you.
I believe you have his poem, one of his poem in English, so maybe you
Yeah.
can go ahead and read it.
Okay. So I'm going to read one of his poetry, and the name of the poetry is Beautiful Riyadh. Beautiful Riyadh. Are you there, beautiful Riyadh? In the middle of that desert that hugs you since so long. Are you there, beautiful and seductive, now more than ever? Now that you almost touch heaven with those buildings who are hiding in the middle of that white clouds. Are you there, beautiful city, in the desert that hugs you since so long? Are you there, beautiful city, in the desert of the eternal sand? Thank you.
That is nice. Carlos Peña, as I said, he excused himself because he was feeling very sick today. So on this morning, we talked about reading his poem and share as it was programmed that he was going to be with us. We don't want to miss, like, not having his poetry heard by our friends connected and in the program that is going to be seen later on by others. This point, I got a translation given to me by Jagriti, una traducción al español que me fue aportada por Jagriti, no es mi traducción, hago claro eso. El poema se titula Bella Riyadh y va a leer, es un poema corto, se lo está dedicando a este lugar del mundo y dice: estás allí, bella Riyadh, en medio de aquel desierto que te abraza desde hace tanto. Estás allí, bella y seductora, ahora más que nunca, ahora que casi tocas el cielo con aquellos edificios que se esconden en medio de las nubes blancas. Estás allí, bella ciudad, en el desierto de las arenas eternas. Carlos Peña. Well, Jagriti, I guess this is your turn for you to read your poetry and present yourself.
Yeah. Give me just 2 minutes.
Sure.
Ascendere.
En lo que ya
Yeah.
consigue material, les voy a comentar que Jagriti es una poeta y gestora cultural de India. Es colaboradora con La Luna con Gatillo y FIEL, Federación Internacional de Escritores por la Libertad, que mueve un festival muy lindo en Argentina, Voces del Viento, FIEL, y ella ha coordinado esta presentación para hoy, invitando a poetas de otros países, no solamente de India, porque ella es la coordinadora de India, pero ella ha tenido este gesto lindo de invitar poetas de otros países para tener una representación no solo internacional, sino intercultural y multilingüe. So, en este momento ya sabemos que Yagriti es poeta y sabemos que ella es gestora cultural, que ella mueve muchos hilos en este tipo de eventos y con gusto la tenemos nuevamente aquí, Yagriti Roy de India.
So, the title of my poem is Coveted Susan to the Sky. Let it fly, let it fly. For long the bird was introvert and shy. Never misunderstand its wish to touch the limit of the sky. Let it fly, let it fly. That's something for which it has never stopped to try. The hardest toil it has ever faced for the sake of flying, one can never deny. Let it fly, let it fly. Do not even try to stop it from reaching that high. Otherwise, a dream will have been forced to die. Let it fly, let it fly. Thank you.
Este es un poema muy lindo. Chagriti me envió una traducción, no es una traducción literaria, hago constar, no es mía. Ella me la aportó para poder compartir su poema en español. Entonces, el poema que tiene una traducción, digamos, mecánica de un traductor, pero suficientemente linda y buena para compartir. Y queremos que no perdamos de escuchar su poesía en español. Codiciada estancia en el cielo. Déjalo volar, let it fly. Déjalo volar, déjalo volar. Durante mucho tiempo el pájaro fue introvertido y tímido. Nunca malinterpretes su deseo de tocar el límite del cielo. Déjalo volar, déjalo volar. Eso es algo por lo que nunca ha dejado de intentarlo. Nunca se puede negar el trabajo más duro al que se ha enfrentado por el bien de volar. Déjalo volar, déjalo volar. Nunca intentes evitar que llegue tan alto. De lo contrario, un sueño se habrá visto obligado a morir. Déjalo volar, déjalo volar. Refiere a, por ejemplo, let it fly, déjalo volar. No trates de atraparlo, porque si tratas de atraparlo, ese sueño se verá obligado a morir. That is a beautiful metaphor. Una metáfora súper linda. Gracias, Jagriti.
So, I think we have reached the last phase of our event today.
Maybe we can do is give each poet that is connected right now a minute to say a few words as a closure of the event. Estoy invitando a Shanti, y a Álvaro y a Yagriti a decir unas palabras a modo de darle una clausura al evento que estamos compartiendo hoy, porque ya hemos participado todos y pues toca el momento de despedirnos, así que podríamos comenzar con Álvaro, say a few words, then Shanti, you say a few words, and Yagriti, you give closure to the program.
Okay.
Bueno, de mi parte, muchas gracias a Leonardo, a la Luna con Gatillo, a vos, Luz María, por estar acá y ser anfitriones. Nice to meet you, Yanti. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much, Agriti, for your invitation. Y pues todas las personas que nos han escuchado, pues gracias por estar ahí. Y espero que nos veamos pues el próximo año de nuevo ahí convocados por Yagriti desde la India. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you as well, Jagriti Roy, for putting this together. It's really a great privilege and an honor to be broadcasted like around the world, because Luz Maria is doing it in Spanish, so that covers all the Latin Americas, and It's just so wonderful to hear all the languages, to hear the music of I love Spanish. I also learned Sanskrit at some point at university, so a little bit of the Indian language is a real pleasure. Happy languages, and it's very nice to have so many people from around the world joining in this event. Thank you very much. Real pleasure, real privilege, really. Thank you. I was in tears. I was in tears at some point. Really. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias a todos, muchas gracias Luz por este maravilloso trabajo. Gracias, thank you very much, dear friend Agriti.
Thank you.
Y bueno, y seguimos trabajando en el Encuentro Internacional de Escritores La Luna con Gatillo. Es bueno contar con amigos y amigas como Luz que solidariamente apoyan este proyecto, que trabajan, que traducen, que donan su tiempo, digamos, que tienen la paciencia para ordenar todo ese gran trabajo de traducción que es fundamental. Sin él no podemos acceder, digamos, a las letras de las compañeras, de los amigos y amigas de otros países que hablan otras lenguas. Así que valoramos ese trabajo, agradecemos, digamos, a cada uno de los poetas, y este aplauso que estarán dando del otro lado es para todas y todos ustedes. Un gran abrazo. Gracias, Luz.
Por nada. Álvaro, ¿deseas decir algo antes que cerremos el programa hoy?
No, pues que espero que se sigan repitiendo estos encuentros tan necesarios en una época como esta que vivimos, donde la solidaridad, la fraternidad empiezan a estar tan ausentes de lo cotidiano. Así que yo espero que estos encuentros permitan reunirnos, comprendernos, entendernos y entender, valga la redundancia, que estamos en este planeta de paso y que vale la pena pues encontrarse. Así que muchas gracias. Thank you very much, Agriti, Santi, Luz María, everybody.
Thank you.
So, ya